Now, what I can't understand is when a person gets cheated on, why are they the ones that are left feeling embarrassed and mortified? Like, have you seen Danny McFly and Maura Higgins? No, wait, his name's not Danny McFly. What is his name? Is Danny from McFly? I don't know his surname. So for this episode, he's going to be called Danny McFly. Maybe it's Danny Jones, is it? I don't know. Anyway, all over the news, well, depending on news feed you're watching. Basically, drunken kiss between him and Maura. He's married. And then Georgia, his wife, was meant to be doing some like appearance or something on a podcast, and she pulled out. And this is not to put her down, because I can completely understand how she must be feeling. Because when something like that happens to you, it does feel embarrassing. But what's more embarrassing than marrying somebody, making a commitment to somebody, having kids with somebody, and then drunk kissing someone at a party? That's embarrassing. That's where the shame and the embarrassment should lie. And I hope he is feeling mortified. To be fair, I'm sure he probably is. And, I hope anybody that cheats or betrays somebody, I hope that you do feel shame and guilt. I think that's a big turning point. If somebody hurts you, badly, but they really feel guilty and like you can feel the shame and the remorse, that's obviously a good thing to feel. And it's also good, I think, if you were the one hurting somebody and you feel remorse, that's probably an indicator that you're still on quite a good path, and it might not be you as a person, or might not be them as a person. It can just be a good person making a really bad decision for a number of reasons. But I would just love to pin the shame purely on that person and not the person that gets hurt. I don't think it happens so much in friendships. I think if a friend really hurts you, betrays your trust forever, I don't think we carry the same shame. But for some reason, when it's in a relationship, I think we feel such a sense of failure. And I think because two people put so much work into a relationship, like a romantic relationship, I think when one person like messes it up or hurts you or whatever, like you both feel, I don't know, maybe a bit of responsibility or the embarrassment. Like you both feel it. It's such a weird concept, isn't it? Because the person that gets hurt shouldn't feel like that at all. Why is the shame sometimes put on the person that got hurt? And I don't think it's done, obviously not by their friends or family or like, by society or anything like that. But I don't know, I think the embarrassment probably comes from not feeling enough. Because you automatically think if somebody does something to hurt you that bad, sometimes you can think, it must be something that I've done, or if I had done something differently, if I had acted differently, then that outcome wouldn't have happened. But that honestly is not true, because if you've done something that has upset your partner, or you just, you act in a way that your partner doesn't like, the right thing to do is your partner come and talk to you. Not go and cheat or, go and disrespect you or knock their phone off and disappear for a few days. However people like upset the other person, that's still the wrong thing to do. So even if like you kind of have got, I don't know, some responsibility, because, we've got to take accountability in these things. Even if you've got some responsibility in, like, the downfall of a relationship or whatever, that still never excuses somebody to go and do something super hurtful. So you should never feel the shame. It's also just, like, you're embarrassed. Like, how could you choose a person that could do something like that for you? You feel, like, stupid and... you think like, why couldn't I see a sauna? The deception that some people go through though, like you'd have to be an MI5 agent to read through the lies. Like some people fully live double lives behind your back. Like it's mental. But as I was reading about this week, I saw a quote that said, "A betrayal can open wide our secret insecurities, and some people may even blame someone's affair or betrayal on what they perceive as their own inadequacies." So that's kind of like what I said earlier, where you kind of feel like it's your fault almost, and then you feel embarrassed about it. And it also opens up then, like if it becomes public, like it opens up all those insecurities, doesn't it? Like imagine Danny McFly came out and said, "I kissed Maura because my wife never gives me a blowy. You know, just or something along those lines. Or even worse, like I hate the ones where like people have affairs or something and then they come out and say like, oh yeah, well, we never had sex anyway, or she never used to do this for me. Like, oh my God, imagine, like that is so painful for the other person. Because again, if there's a problem, talk about it. Do you know, the first time I met one of my ex's friends, right? After it, he says to me, oh yeah, do you know, she only gives him a blowy on, I can't remember the occasions, Christmas and their anniversary, or like just for his birthday. And I'm like, I don't need to know this. And I'm sure she doesn't want me knowing this. I'm sure he doesn't want me knowing it. Also respect to her. Like, what did Samantha Jones say? They don't call her a job for nothing. Fair enough. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. Preach it. Power to you. But I think, you know, if God forbid anything happened between those two, and then that stuff comes out, it's basically like all your insecurities can be shared to the public, can't they? And then that also feels really embarrassing and shameful. But I don't know, I suppose even when you do nothing wrong, when a relationship breaks down, there's a sense of failure. I think we all put so much work into our relationships that when they end, you just feel a sense of failure and like you could have or should have done more to save it. And that probably fuels the shame and embarrassment. I was also thinking, like, at the minute, everyone, you know, not hates Danny, but everyone can clearly see that he's done wrong and stuff. But if his wife decides to stay with him and, you know, they work through it, wherever, I guarantee people will quickly turn on her because people won't let her forget it. You know, like Sam Thompson and Zara, they'd still be getting comments underneath their pictures. I mean, they have broken up now, I think, but she cheated on him, he took her back, and then like 4 or 5 years later, people are still commenting underneath it. I'm like, look, if they can get over it, you need to get over it as well. That then brings like another layer of embarrassment and shame. And yeah, I don't know, I was just thinking about it this week. If somebody, like if I go with somebody, like if you go with somebody and they stole all your money and they messed you over like that, I don't know if that carries the same level. I suppose people would probably say, like, I feel so stupid for not being able to spot it. I feel so stupid, maybe. But I don't think it comes with the same level of shame as, like, cheating or affairs or, you know, that type of thing. And I don't know why, because it's still just the other person betraying you. It should kind of all be universal. I don't know why people feel more at fault if somebody has an affair than if they were to, yeah, I don't know, steal your money or lie about like some massive gambling issue or, you know, whatever it is. There's a girl on TikTok actually that I've been watching. She found messages on her boyfriend's phone of an affair, right, that he's having with his colleague, but they all work together. So they were all in work together and he was having an affair with somebody else. And in the messages, they literally mocking her, being like, she's got no idea. Like, she's coming in and she doesn't know. So mean and horrible. And I'm sure in the video, like in one of them, she's crying, obviously. And she's like, you know, I feel stupid, whatever. And I'm like, they should be the ones feeling stupid because they both had partners. How stupid of you to not break up with your partner and be together. Like, that's embarrassing. There's many things that people do in relationships that are embarrassing. When a man refers to his partner as ball and chain, embarrassing. When the man doesn't want to help with something around the house unless you do it, embarrassing. When a man acts differently towards you when he's around his friends, embarrassing. When a man says they're not romantic, embarrassing. When they make a joke at your expense, embarrassing. When your partner lets you cry yourself to sleep or doesn't comfort you, embarrassing. Embarrassing on their part, because what are you doing? You're in a relationship, you're a partner. For all those things, you should be helping your partner. You shouldn't be making digs at him. Shouldn't be calling him a ball and chain. Let somebody that I'm with try and call me a ball and chain. I swear to God. It's so deeply offensive. If you want me to be a ball and chain, let's fucking go, because I will strap myself to your ankle and make your life hell if you want to go there. Can you think of any more, guys? Please, if you think I've missed any, please leave a little comment. Come and message me. What embarrassing things do people do in relationships? I do realise that most of that list was about men, but I'm a straight gal. So, you know, one, I'm always going to have the girlies' backs. And two, unfortunately, I only know straight men. Oh, do you know, actually, I saw a quote on TikTok, right? Listen to this. So obviously, I don't know this is tried and tested, but I saw somebody on TikTok say, men actually get pleasure from pissing you off and annoying you. There's a study between men and women that show that men are reinforced by seeing an angry face on someone else. As long as that face doesn't last for too long, they perceive it as a reward and not a threat. That means subconsciously, they are doing these things on purpose to get the angry face out of you. Is that true? I don't know. She didn't name the study. It's not tried and tested. But apparently they enjoy a little bit of an angry reaction. So that's just one to bear in mind if you're going out with a man. Anyway, guys, welcome. Hope you're all doing well. You can see I'm in a different location. I'm back home in Wales this week. I came back just for a few days. And as always, it's been really nice to recharge with everyone, to see my family and friends. It's always very good for the soul and for my mental health. Lucy actually messaged me literally like the day I came back. You know Lucy's been on the pod. She literally messaged me, my love, now that you're home, do you want to come down, sage the house, light the manifestation candle and get the tarot cards out? I was like, absolutely I do. That sounds so perfect. And you know what? The tarot cards never lie. Honestly, there's a little card pull. Got the meaning of it up on a tarot website. Joy. Sage the house, got a little crystal out. Really good for the chakras and the inner peace. I'm going to be recharged now when I go back up to London. Actually, I was talking to my friend as well this week, just about like life and, you know, life decisions. And she did this thing which is really good, and I thought it was a really good thing to pass on, is like listing basically all the things that make you happiest. So, you know, for me, it's like I like to live by nature somewhere. So like even in London, I live by the river and I like to go for a run on the river, and that just like makes me feel really nice. I'm always happiest when I've got somewhere that I can go for a run or for a walk, for sure. You know, if that's living next to family and friends, if it's working a job you enjoy, having money. I mean, these all sound like obvious things, but obviously your list like will probably look a little bit different. And you basically got to think about like your key things that make you happy, and then kind of like look at your life and what you've got now and what you need to change to get those things. So if like most of your list is being around family and friends, and then you're living in a city or a country and you're completely by yourself, then you can probably maybe look at changing your environment. Or, you know, if loads of your things is like having enough money to be able to go on holidays or to be able to, you know, do XYZ, and you're working in a job that you don't like and isn't paying you enough, then you can be like, wow, maybe that's why I'm unhappy. And yeah, I thought that was a good thing. I actually spoke about it to my therapist this week as well. She was like, what can you do now? Like, what changes can you do now before you flee to Australia? What changes can you make now to, you know, make you like a little bit happy and stuff? So yeah, I thought that was quite helpful. And my other friend Amelia said before that she listened on a podcast that you can write a list of where you want your life to be in 5 years. And then you look at your life now and double check almost if what you're doing now is going to lead you on that path. So if in 5 years' time you want to be working as a doctor, then, I mean, I'm sure you already know if you're a doctor. That's probably a bad example. But, you know, if in 5 years' time you want to be running your own company or something, then you need to be looking at what you're doing now. Are you taking business courses? Are you working in jobs that, you know, you can get experience that'll help you with that? Etc, etc. I just thought it was really helpful, so I'm passing it on. Okay, guys, as I said, I'm home. I'm home this week, and I found my old diaries. If you're a 90s baby, you will remember Funky Friends, I'm sure. Such a throwback. I love these things. These were my pride and joy. They're pieces of art in you. I wasn't just writing, I was creating art. I was creating Pinterest boards in you. I've got cutouts, I've got photos, I've got different colour pens. I absolutely loved them. Me and Lucy actually used to write in them, and then me and Lucy were basically just like sisters growing up. We used to see each other all the time, so we used to write in our diaries and then meet up and like read each other's pages and stuff. There were no secrets between me and Lucy. Pretty much still the same now. I sent some pictures of it to my friends, and they were like, you've got to read this out on the podcast. So here we go. So this diary is from 2003. I'm 11 years old. I'm in year 7 in school. And to say I'm horrified would be an understatement. 11 years old and boy mad. It's giving slag. It is so embarrassing. I literally want to go back and shake this girl and be like, boys are not good for you. Stop wasting your time with them. Every other week is, well, I'm not going out with him anymore. I'm going out with, I'm not going to name any names. And I love him. Like, everyone I'm with, I love. There's drawings and pictures for every boy. There's a picture in you, an actual printout of a photograph of a boy. It's giving Joe from you. I'm like a stalker. I'm like, how did I even get that picture? Where does it come from? How and why? And I've stuck it in you with a big, like, I love and his name. Like a little weirdo. So embarrassed. Anyway, here we go. 17th of June, 2003. Hi. Since the 13th, I've been seeing Callum. But not anymore. Bear in mind, it's 4 days ago. But not anymore. I just love Craig. So within 4 days, I've broken up with one boy. I'm in another relationship and I love him. I love him forever. TTID. Can anyone remember what that means? I've got no idea. Tell me it's not till I die. Because that makes me sick to my stomach. Also, did I actually believe that at the time? We probably went out for about 2 weeks. The next 2 pages are particularly painful for me. It's so embarrassing. I just know that if I was a lesbian, this wouldn't be happening in school and it would have been much better for me. Well, I'm seeing Craig. I met him today. And I don't know if you guys remember, but met and meet, we used to say as kiss. So you'd be like, oh, will you meet? But like MEAT. Like a piece of beef. Will you meet? Yeah, will you meet, whoever. And it means kiss. So I kissed him today on the 18th of June. You're in school, hun. Get back to your lessons. What are you doing kissing boys in school? Sorry, ma'am. This is what was happening, though. I was calling him sexy. Oh, imagine me calling a boy sexy. It actually makes me want to vomit. I can't even read the next sentence. He slapped my bum. I'm so chuffed. Oh, sweet, sweet girl. Sweet, sweet girl. How I wish I could go back and tell you to leave him there. Next page. This is all in 3 days now, right? I'm going out with him on the 17th. I've kissed him on the 18th. On the 19th of June, 2003. Oh, I met Craig twice today. So I kissed Craig twice today. Second time, the teacher caught us. Tomorrow, I'm supposed to meet him again. And then there's a drawing of the teacher. And I remember queuing, this is mortifying, my mother will actually still be annoyed at me, even though it was 22 years ago. I remember queuing for maths. Like, I literally remember it like it was yesterday. I remember queuing for maths, and I was going out with this boy, and we were going to kiss. And I don't know if you remember in school, but like when you were going to kiss somebody, all the kids would come around and watch. Like, it was this really weird thing that we used to do where it'd be like, Sadie's kissing, whoever, like, we must all come and watch. I don't understand why, but everyone did it. They're going to kiss at break time. Then you'd all be running and then you'd all like watch them kiss. So strange. Anyway, I kissed this boy before I went into maths class, and the head of year caught us. How embarrassing. Again, you're in school, hun. Go back to lessons. What are you doing kissing somebody outside maths? That's probably why we had a C in it. That's probably why we're in set 3. Because you're kissing boys outside. Get in learn some algebra. Get on the calculator. Learn your times tables, for God's sakes. Kissing boys, where's that going to get you? Where's that got me? A podcast still talking about boys, for fuck's sake. I've always been the same person. As I read through it, I was like, you actually haven't changed much, and it's quite sick to see. You just love boys, and I hate it. So embarrassing, honestly. There's this stunning boy. I doubt I'll ever see him, but if he asks me, I'd definitely say yes. Back in February, today was okay. Maths was really, really boring. That's probably why I decided to get a boyfriend in the class 4 months later. I've written, and I'm going to have to blank out the names because I still know these people. Like, I've got them on social media, and it's like mortifying. Is Lush is spelt with a Z. I-Z. Like, I can't. I also, in these pictures, look like a crackhead in most of them. So how the hell was I even pulling anybody? I look vile. Picture of Beyonce, though. Day one fan. Truly. Oh, there's another. I just make myself sick. I've done another test online. The other day I did the Are You Dateable test on spark.com. It came back 75% dateable. What test was I doing and where was I doing it? I'm printing it out. Like, was I doing this in school? Jesus wept. Anyway, I won't indulge you in any more. But to conclude, I was boy mad and I was way too young to be. An eye-opener. I always thought I was like really well-behaved young little girl. Apparently not. Also, guys, thank you. I've had another 3 reviews, I think, on Spotify, and it makes me really happy. So if you're listening and you enjoy, then please leave me a little 5-star review on Spotify. It really helps. And make sure you're following, make sure you're subscribed on YouTube. And come and comment. Let me know your thoughts, any stories that you've got. Or if you've got any longer stories, you can send them to sadie@loveotluck.com. And yeah, just come and chat to me because it really lifts me up. Thank you actually to the messages that I had last week. I did that episode, didn't I? And I was just kind of like honest about how I was feeling. And then I had some really nice messages off you guys. And honestly, it just is a massive help. Do you know as well, I was sat at home and I got an email from a psychic, right? That I went to see the psychic 2 years ago, I think. Maybe even 3 years ago. I must have told you at the time. I literally paid to have like a reading with her. And she was really good. And she actually told me something that I hadn't told anybody else. And I was like, how on earth? Like, this is wild. So she actually was amazing, and she said loads of stuff that came true, but she is quite like an intense person. And I don't know, when I had my palm read, like, lol, how crazy I sound. When I had my palm read in Blackpool, she had like a very nice calming aura about her. This woman isn't that, and she says that herself. She's like, I'm not professional, and she just like talks at you like a Gatling gun. Anyway, I had an email saying like free tarot card pull tonight only. I was like, oh my God, sign me up. Like, nothing says you're going through a little bit of a low phase than signing up to a live tarot card pull amongst a group via Zoom on a Sunday evening. I was on it for almost 3 hours. Anyway, she said some really nice stuff. She was really empowering. She was on about like not wasting my time, and she just said like some really lovely things. And then she says, and you know, you are a little bit ADHD, you are a little bit on the spectrum, you are a little bit neurodivergent, you are a little bit autistic. And I was like, am I? Like, I'm not sure you should be diagnosing people on a Zoom call. Like, she was saying like that all of us that picked card number 2 missed social cues and stuff. I was like, I always thought I was like a social person. Apparently not. Apparently I've got autism. So there was that, which kind of made me lose credibility for the rest of the stuff she said. But, you know, I wrote it down. We'll go through it. But one of the things she did tell me to do was to reply to my messages. And I was like, wow, she's fully called me out. So that's my goal this week. Anyway, I've got a couple of very short stories to read out for us. And it's basically this thing that I found where this man asked a group of strangers to write down what's the worst thing that your ex said to you. So here we go. My boyfriend and I were sharing things we loved about each other, and he told me if I had his ex's smile, I'd be perfect. I was so upset I couldn't speak. He just started laughing and told me he was kidding, but I don't think he was. Now when I meet people, I get nervous to smile around them. I hate that I still let him control me. Oh, that's so horrible and so manipulative. Like, you were saying that knowing that she is going to compare herself to your ex. She's going to think that you still got feelings for her. She's going to think that you were comparing them both. And even after they've broken up, she's still conscious about her smile. Like, people don't understand that when they hurt somebody's feelings, whether they do something or say something, like how much of an effect it can have on you. People just need to be more considerate and careful and work on their own shit before going into a relationship and hurting somebody else. Like, deal with your shit by yourself about your ex and her smile. Don't get into a relationship with somebody and pass that trauma on. Horrible. The day after I gave birth, the first thing my ex said to me was that he wished I wouldn't have kept the baby. I was horrified and the doctors made him leave the room. My baby is 5 now and she's the greatest thing to happen to me. She'll ask about him, but he refuses to reach out to her. I feel like it's my fault for picking such a horrible person. How interesting is that? After what I was saying earlier, people take the blame and the faults and the shame off the people that should be feeling it. He should be feeling stupid and obviously he should be feeling to blame because it's all his fault. But do you know what? When you take responsibility and when you do take some blame and you're looking like that, it just shows what a good person you are, because you're not just blaming somebody else and you're trying to like reason with things, even though she's completely wrong. Like, obviously it's not her fault at all, but that just shows that you're a good person, that you're willing to consider things that you might have done and like consider your part in stuff. Just like generally, that means you're a really good person. Okay, last one. After a few months of dating, my boyfriend asked me if he could call me the same nickname he gave his ex. So why? If you want to be with her, go after her. Why are you, please? Nah, straight away, that'd be a no from me. It was also like sick. That's embarrassing. Another embarrassing thing that men do, be with her when they still have their ex. Go to the ex. Well, you're so afraid of being alone that you'd rather be with me and call me the nickname of somebody else than just be by yourself or try and go after it. Disgusting. I remember I started crying, but all he did was shout at me and tell me I was overreacting. Don't tell me I'm overreacting. There's like some things that you should never tell a woman. Like, shut up, be quiet, you're overreacting, you're being crazy. What do you want me to say? Like, there's just some things that you just shouldn't say to a woman when she's angry. And telling them they're overreacting is one of them. I have no idea why, but I let him call me that name and I stayed with him for another year. I just found out they're back together. Wow. Okay, guys, so a little tip there. If somebody is wanting to call you the same name as their ex, they're definitely still in love with them and likelihood is they're going to end up back together. Honestly, I think I would just rather be by myself than be with somebody and want to turn them into my ex. Like, you're never going to be my ex. Like, no two people can ever be the same. So what's the point? People just need to learn to be by themselves, you know, and not bring other people down with them. Okay, guys, well, I think I'm going to finish up there. Please, like I said, remember to subscribe and follow. Please come and share your stories with me, what drama you've got going on, what's happening with you this week, anything that you can relate to from the episode. If you've got your own stories, then come and send me a little message, a DM on Instagram. I'm at Sadie Maltby or at Love.Luck, or just chuck a cheeky little comment down below, and yeah, let's all get involved in a little group chat situation. And yeah, thank you so much for listening, and I'll speak to you next week.